yeah, we'll probably use a bit of roller, but being careful not to put too much load because we don't want to cause any more bruising. Okay, so we'll look at a bit more, like I said, hip opening, core, hip, having the alignment of the feet and stuff. Okay, all right, so sitting on the floor here, let's first of all get the alignment of our legs. So we've got our hips are the set width, and the middle of our hip, or in between our hips, right in the middle is our crutch. If we look down at our bottom here, we've got the middle of one leg, the middle of the other. And if we draw a parallel line down, our knees want to be, center of our knee wants to be under the center of the hip. And the center of the feet wants to be in line with that. So the shin bones are vertical and parallel. So looking at your feet, the middle of your, in between your second and third toes is about the middle of the ball of the foot. And if you draw a line from that to the center of the ankle, those lines want to be parallel, not the inside of your feet, because your feet will be tipped out. So the center line there wants to be parallel. So looking at your feet, just turn your feet outwards and then turn your feet inwards. Turn your feet out, really trying to get them as far away from each other as possible and spreading those toes. And then turn those feet so that the soles are trying to get together. And then put them in the middle and point those toes away and really, really extend those ankle joints. And then pull those toes up towards your nose, keeping them in a line, keeping them parallel. And then push those toes away. And then pull those toes up. And then circles with the feet all the way around to the left, round to the front and back. All the way round to the left, round to the front and back. And one more. And then 3 circles the other way to the right, all the way down and round. 3 circles the other way. So if we don't have good mobility of our ankle and then rest the feet in the middle, we won't be able to keep the knee aligned and keep the hip aligned. So now put your hands on your shins and just roll yourself, let your knees lift up and just roll yourself forwards. So we're tipping forward onto that front bottom, putting the tummy button onto the thighs, so bend the knees a little bit. And then push those knees down into the ground and stretch those hamstrings. And then lift your body up to vertical, sliding your hands up your legs and rest your fingers on your kneecaps. So just with your kneecaps, I want you just to push up and down. So your kneecaps are floating. They're a disc of bone and cartilage that's attached by muscle below and muscle above. So just push that kneecap and you can put your thumb on the top of it and the forefinger or the middle finger down on the toes and just move that kneecap. Okay, now slide your hands around so your thumb's on the inside of the kneecap and pull that kneecap out to the outside of the leg, and then push with the fingers on the outside of the kneecap and push it inwards, and then pull the kneecap out and then push it in. So we're sliding the kneecap across that knee joint, outwards, inwards, outwards, inwards. So we get mobility and then just roll that kneecap around. So we want that kneecap to be, that has a groove on the back of it, which has to fit in a groove on the end of our femur, our thigh bone. And so we want to make sure that the kneecap's mobile enough to be able to slot into that groove. So rubbing those knees, now rubbing those legs, just get some blood circulating in those thighs. And then hold behind the legs, lift those shoulders up to the sky, roll those shoulders backwards and then pull them down. And then put your fists on the floor behind you, squeeze your elbows together, push that chest up to the sky, straightening those arms and take that chin all the way up high. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring that chin all the way down to the chest. Push those hands into the floor behind and stretch through that neck, pulling that chin right into the chest. Turn those eyes round to the right-hand side of that right leg and really push that left ear away from the left shoulder. Swing those eyes back to the front and then turn those eyes to the left-hand side of the left leg. Really push that right ear away from the right shoulder. And then bring those eyes back to the front. Push those shoulder blades together. Push that chest up and forward, and then bring those eyes all the way up to the sky and stretch through the front of the neck. And then bring that head parallel to the floor, eyes parallel. Take the hands off the ground and bring those hands all the way around in front. Breathing in, and on the out breath, lower yourself all the way down to the floor, slowly down to flat. All the way down, one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the ground. And then take those arms all the way over the head, reaching those fingers away from the toes. Sliding those hands back in towards the head. Bring them all the way up to the sky, chin into the chest, and roll yourself one vertebra at a time, all the way back up to sitting. Sitting up nice and tall. Bend those knees a bit, and then grab that roller in. Grab your roller. So go easy with this, Sarah. Don't bruise yourself, but it would be good to start mobilizing. So resting back, I've got my elbows on the roller, my back is off the roller. And I'm just going to lower that back onto the roller, breathing in. Get the roller lower down, Mum, more down towards your bottom ribs. Breathing out, release the body over, pushing the breastbone up to the sky, letting that head lie back towards the floor, breathing in at the bottom, breathing out, pull that chin into the chest and lift all the way back up. And then move that roller up one inch or so, breathing in. On the out breath, push the breastbone up to the sky. Take the head in the hands if you need. Letting that head rock down to the floor, breathing in. And then on the out breath, chin in the chest and bring yourself back up. And breathing in, move that roller up a bit more. Take hold of the head in both hands. Breathing out, push that breastbone up to the sky. Let that head go down to the floor. Opening that chest, feel it crick. Breathing in. Breathe out and lift yourself all the way back up. And move that roller up one more. Take the head in the hands, breathing in. On the out breath, push the chest up to the sky. Let that back lay all the way back over the roller. Rest that head on the floor. And then breathing in, and on the out breath, bring that head all the way back up. And move that roller one more time, breathing in. On the out breath, lift that chest up. I'm holding the head in my hands. Rest the head on the back of the roller. On the back of the roller, so gravity is causing a bit of traction in the neck. You can put your thumbs under the bone at the base of the skull, behind the ears, and just kind of help that, pry that away. Stretch through that neck. Turn that head to the left a bit. Turn the head to the right a bit. Turn the head to the left. Turn it right. And then let it hang straight down. Extending that neck. Lift that bum up off the floor. And you're just going to roll the roller all the way down to those bottom ribs. And then when you get to the bottom, you're going to breathe in and breathe out, and use your heels to pull your body all the way back over the roller the other way. Breathing in, and on the out breath, all the way down to the bottom ribs, through those vertebrae and discs. Breathe in at the bottom, and then breathe out and pull yourself all the way back up. Good, going down and leaning onto that right side. So we're just lifting the left side off the roller a little bit. Down and up. And then just leaning over a little bit more on the next one down. And then rest the bum on the floor and turn yourself onto your right hand side. So I've got the roller in my armpit, my head's resting on my hand. So we're just going to nudge forwards and backwards and resting on my bottom and the armpit. So I'm just resting up and down, rolling up and down in that armpit. Push that arm straight. And then just rolling backwards a bit and forwards a bit. Backwards a bit and forwards a bit. Backwards a bit and then come to the middle, put the elbow on the floor, and the right elbow on the floor, left hand on the roller. Lift yourself up a bit and bring the roller down towards your waist again. Rest the head in that right hand and just roll that roller where it is here. Just a little bit nudging up and down. Rolling to the front, rolling to the back. If you want to turn so you can face me, then you can see what I'm doing. It might be easier, or if you're happy, but try to keep your body in line with the long edge of the mat so that your back is straight. Good, rocking forwards and backwards. Okay, put the elbow on the floor again. Lift those ribs up and roll the roller down a little bit more. So it's down in those bottom, in the base of through the lats. So rocking forwards, rocking back, and then just nudging forwards and backwards in that area. And you can put that arm straight, you can bend it a bit. If you want to lift your bottom up a bit, you can just move the roller up a bit towards the armpit a bit more. And if you want to bounce the bottom, you can move the roller down towards the waist. Okay, we're going to move the roller again so that it's down, that it's in the bra strap area, which is where the base of the scapula comes. And again, moving that arm to straight and bent. And that is often the area where it pulls the scapula out of alignment slightly. And then that causes problems with the shoulder. So just a little bit of jumping up and down there. And then see if you can roll the whole way down to the bottom ribs and then pull yourself all the way through the outside edge of the back of the shoulder and then all the way down to the bottom ribs and then all the way through those muscles and up into the armpit. Down to the bottom ribs and then gently rolling over onto the back of the shoulder. And then we go all the way over onto the back. So you can put your bum on the ground and shimmy yourself around a bit. You can support your head in your hands all the way up, all the way down. Then we're going to lean over onto that left-hand side a bit. Lean onto the left, down to the bottom ribs. And then back up, and then lean over a bit more onto the left, down to the bottom ribs, and back up. And then we're going to rest on that left armpit on the roller. So make sure that the length of your body is in line with the long side of the mat. And then lengthening that left arm out, just shimmy up and down a bit, the roller into that armpit, shimmying up and down. And then rock forwards and rock backwards, forwards and backwards. And then lift the bottom up and move it up towards the roller. And then rock forwards and backwards in that new position. Shimmy a little bit. Lift the bottom up, move it up towards the roller again. Shimmy forwards and backwards. And then just a bit of up and down. And then one more. Forwards and backwards, so we should be at the base of the shoulder blade, probably about now in that bra strap area. And then just lifting that knee up. You're just going to move, so you can lift and drop the bottom down and move. Lift and drop the bottom down, coming away from the roller. You can use your right hand for a bit more support if you need, use your feet. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just glide all the way down over the roller and all the way back up over the roller. Keeping as straight as you can all the way down so the roller goes to the bottom ribs and all the way back up. And then lean over onto that left-hand side, going onto the back of the left side. And then all the way back over, supporting the head with the hands if you want, all the way back onto the back. Okay, rest the bottom on the floor. And let that head hang all the way down to the floor. Push those ribs up. Bring that chin into the chest and roll yourself using your elbows. Lift yourself all the way up off that roller. So just slide the roller out of the way a little bit. Don't get rid of it completely, because we might come and use that again on the sacroiliac joint. Right, you're going to lie down on your side on the floor. Support your head on your underneath arm. So face me to start with. So just move that roller away. So underneath arm supporting the head. Knees are stacked. Breastbone, tummy button, crutch are all in a vertical line. Small lift off that lower, off that waist off the floor. Roll that left shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Hold that left shoulder here and bring that arm perpendicular to the body, so it's right up in the sky. Straighten that right leg out straight, the underneath leg, and let the top leg drop onto the floor in front. Push this left hand up into the sky and let that left arm pull backwards behind you. So pull the shoulder blade down behind, pull the arm down after the shoulder blade. Don't let the end of the shoulder skewer forward. So you've got an arm like I have with the shoulder forward and the arm hanging back. We want the shoulder back behind the body. So it's all the way back, and let that arm hang behind your body. Big breath in, and on the out breath, push that arm away, push the fingers away, and keep that shoulder blade down and back. Swing that arm a little bit to the left, swing it a little to the right. Good, left, right, left, right, left. Good. And then leave that arm straight up in the air. You can bend the elbow and push the elbow backwards so we stretch more in that chest. Bring that hand straighter again and take that arm all the way up towards the head, all the way touch the floor, all the way around in front of the body, down the floor, over the leg, onto the floor behind you, all the way around. You're going to let your shoulders roll back a little bit. All the way around above your head, then all the way onto the floor in front, all the way down, all the way over the leg, touching the floor. Keep it touching the floor if you can. You'll probably lose it at about 11 o'clock behind your body, all the way around, all the way up above the head, and all the way back in front. And then you're going to hold it in front, and you're going to take it all the way up over the head. Keep the fingers on the floor, take it all the way around behind the head. You'll lose it here, it's about 11 or 2 o'clock, all the way around, all the way down, over your bum, up on the floor, all the way around, around. If it doesn't touch the floor all the way, it doesn't matter, but we want you to visualize that's the aim. So we're getting mobility back in that shoulder. And bring that arm back to the ground. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. And we're going to swing over onto the other side. I'm going to swing around so I can face you, so I can see. Swing over onto the other side, but you can stay that way around, it doesn't matter. Okay, so underneath leg is straight. Tuck the top leg over, and you can put it under that bottom leg, or you can just put them next to each other. Support the head with the underneath arm. Roll that right shoulder up to the ear, behind and down. Bring that right arm straight up into the sky, so it's perpendicular to the body. Pull that arm backwards behind you, so you're putting that arm backwards towards the floor. Breathing in. Let that arm swing up to the right, and let it swing down towards the feet. Up towards the head. Down towards the feet, up towards the head, just letting gravity pull it back, down towards the feet, up towards the head, and down. Good. Take it all the way up, all the way onto the floor in front, all the way along the floor, all the way over that leg, onto the floor behind you. All the way around, It's not very easy going this way to get it to touch the floor. All the way around onto the floor, over the head, down in front, over the leg, onto the floor, all the way around and through, and all the way back to the front. It's also not easy if you've got lots of bits in the way. Take that the right arm all the way up, keeping it on the floor behind you, all the way around, all the way back over that leg, onto the floor, all the way around, up. Keep it on the floor, all the way around, and then back to join those arms next to each other. Good, roll over onto your tummy. Roll over onto your tummy, put those hands in the pitchfork position. Forehead on the ground, hands are on the ground, breathing in. Bring that right knee up next to your waist and put that right hand on the floor so that the elbow is up in the air. You can lift yourself up to adjust if you need to move your body around. Okay, lifting the body up off the floor with that right hand and the right knee. Feel the stretch in the left chest. Push that left hand into the ground. Push the left hand into the ground. Hold the tension. Breathing in, breathing out, release, and lift higher off the floor. Breathing in, push that hand into the ground. Breathing in, breathing out. Release the tension, lift the body higher off the floor. And release. Let that right leg go, let that right arm go down. Lift yourself up and organize yourself and roll over onto the other side so that your head is facing the left. Left hand is up on the floor. Right hand is down in that pitchfork position. Lift with the left arm, left knee. So we stretch the front of that right shoulder. Push that right arm into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Pushing that right arm into the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Release the push and lift with that left arm, lifting that left side up. Breathing in, breathing out. Push the right arm down again. Breathing in, breathing out, release, and lift off that left side a little bit more, stretching through that right shoulder. Okay, release those arms, release those legs, come back onto the tummy. Arms are in that pitchfork position, fingertips near the top of the head, breathing in. Out breath, push off those forearms, clench the bum, push the hips into the floor, and lift the chest up off the ground. Breathing in, breathing out, and release back down. Slide those hands down to the level with the bottom ribs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the ground. Tighten the legs and make those knees and feet come off the floor. Clenching the tummy, lifting it. Push off those hands and lift onto that bottom rib. Just on the bottom rib, Sarah, just on the bottom rib. So shoulders are back and down, holding yourself here. Holding here. Now take those hands away on the floor and lift them up off the ground. Putting those shoulder blades together, squeezing with the bum. So this is your posture on your horse. Clenching neutral spine. It's your posture when walking, when standing. And release everything down to the ground. Breathing in. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Draw the tummy in and lift. Hands down by the bottom rib. Lift that upper body up. Lift those arms up off the ground. Bring those arms back down to the floor. Lift those arms up off the ground. Bring them back down to the floor. Clenching with the bum, lifting the tummy up. Lift those arms up. Hold them high. Pulse the arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put the hands on the floor by the bottom ribs. Elbows are in the sky. Breathing in, and on the out breath, push off the hands and come onto the pubic bone. Just the pubic bone, so we're bending at that hip. Good, and then release back down to the bottom rib, holding the upper body up. Breathing in on the out breath. Push off the hand and come onto that pubic bone, clenching with the bum. Good. And then lowering back down to the bottom rib. To get the feeling of your pelvis bending at your leg. Breathing in on the out breath. Pushing off the hand, coming onto the pubic bone, no higher. Clenching with the bum, drawing the tummy in, lifting the top of the pelvis away from the floor. And then lowering back down to the ground. So we're lifting the top of the pelvis away and bending at that hip joint. Breathing in. On the out breath, roll the shoulders back and down. Lengthen the legs, tighten the thighs. Push off the hand. Lift that pubic bone up. I was resting on the pubic bone, lifting the top of the pubic bone up. And then lower the bottom ribs down. Pushing those hands in, lifting yourself up onto the pubic bone. And then lowering yourself back down onto the bottom ribs. Breathing in. On the out breath, lifting onto the pubic bone. And now straighten the arms onto the knees. So we've got the bend at the pubic bone, resting on the knees, opening up that chest. Lower down to the pubic bone, lower down to the bottom ribs. Release those arms and relax down onto the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Okay, put the hands back next to that bottom rib. Breathing in. Breathing out, clench the bone, lengthen the legs. Lift up onto that bottom rib. Breathing in. On the out breath, push the hands in the floor, lift onto the pubic bone. Breathing in, push the hands in the floor, lift onto those knees, keep those shoulders back and down. Good, shoulders down, Mum, good. Okay, bum in the air, back into child pose. All the way back into child pose, push that bum in the air, stretch through those hips. Stretch through those knees, breathing in. Push those hands forward and stretch through those armpits, breathing out. Come up onto all fours. Come up onto all fours. Make sure your knees are under your hips. Hands are under the shoulders. Turn the inside of the elbows forward, breathing in. On the out breath, turn the bum to the floor, back up and eyes look at the knees. Breathing in. Breathing out, turn the bum over, turn the bum to the sky, eyes to the sky, chest and belly to the floor. And then rotate the other way, turning the pelvis, turning the back, eyes come down. Turning the pelvis, turning the shoulders, eyes come up. Good, come into neutral. Right, neutral spine position. Make sure that your thighs are parallel and vertical. Turn the inside of the elbows forward and glide backwards in that neutral spine position. Glide back. So it's not child pose. So you should feel a big tension through that hip. Pull the knees apart and lift up onto those knees. Breathing in. On the out breath, gliding back. Stretching that bum. Lengthening that torso, breathing in. Breathing out, pull those knees apart, come up onto all fours. Gliding backwards, lengthening that body. Pulling those knees apart, coming up onto all fours. Good. Okay, turning those inside of the elbows forward. Sliding the weight on the two hands and the left leg, sliding that right leg out behind you. Yeah, legs straight. Toes are on the floor. Draw that knee back in towards the elbow. Slide that leg out straight on the floor. Pull that leg in so the knee comes towards the elbow. Slide that leg out straight. Bring that knee in towards the elbow. Resting it on the ground. Sliding that left leg out straight. Bring that knee to the elbow. Sliding that leg out straight. Bring that knee to the elbow. One more. Sliding that leg out straight. Bring that knee to the elbow and rest it down on the floor next to the other leg. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Walk those knees forward so that you're sitting on the ground. Sitting on the ground. Give our wrists a bit of a break. So roll those ankles. Make sure the feet are both pointing up. Make sure the knees are both pointing up. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Bring those arms up in front of you. Breathing in on the out breath. Roll yourself all the way down to flat. So see if you can do this without your rope, Mum. Push that back down. Push that pelvis down to flat. Really going down, not coming back up. Push that pelvis down to flat. Lowering the pelvis all the way down to the ground. So the top of my pelvis is on the floor before my ribs. All the way down to flat. Bring those arms all the way over the head. Push those fingers from the toes. Take hold of the right wrist and pull the right wrist to the left and stretch through that right hand side. And then take hold of the left wrist and pull those fingers over to the right and stretch through that left hand side, lengthening that left leg. And then release. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky, all the way over the top, and all the way down by your side. Roll your shoulders up to your ears into the floor, slide them down. Breathing in, breathing out. Lift that chest up. Lift that back up off the floor and then release, breathing in. Pop those hands above the elbows, breathing out. Push those elbows into the floor and lift that upper back up off the ground, coming into that fish. Breathing in, opening that chest up, really squeezing those shoulder blades together and then release down on the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out, push off those elbows, come up onto the top of the head if you can, and push those elbows in the floor, pushing that chest up above the shoulder joint. Breathing in, filling your lungs up with air, spreading your ribs. Breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then release down to the ground. Okay, we'll do some hip opening. Bring that right leg in, bring that left leg in. So first of all, we're going to hug the knees to the chest. So we're shutting that knee joint down, mobilizing that lower back. Pull the knees in, lift the tailbone up. Pull the knees in, lift the tailbone up. One more. Pull those knees in, lift the tailbone up. Breathing in, breathing out. Hold on to that left leg and push that right leg away straight. Pull that left knee all the way up to your armpit, breathing in. And then pull that left leg all the way over the body. Push that left hand away. Keep the shoulder down and back, taking the knee down as far as you can go. But you've got to turn the back. So your hip bone is coming up off the floor, so don't compress the hip joint by pulling the knee and not letting the hip lift. But let the hips turn, which lets the back stretch. Good. Roll back onto that back. Pull that knee up into the armpit one more time. Pull that leg all the way over the body one more time, pushing that left hand away. Left knee to the floor. Good, and then roll over onto that right hand side and just take hold of this left leg in the left hand. Roll the shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Clench the bum, tighten the tummy and push that foot into the hand and lengthen that leg behind you. Keep the knee level with the hip, keep that shoulder relaxed, pushing that foot away. Really pushing that foot away behind you. Stretching through that hip flexor. And then release that leg. And then roll back onto your back. Pull that knee up into the armpit one more time. And then release that leg. Take the hands up into the sky and then bring the other leg in. Take hold of it with your hand and put it in towards your chest. So trying to bend that joint. Make your legs do the splits from each other. Pull that right leg all the way over the body, pushing the right hand away. Pushing that right knee to the floor, letting this hip lift up. Letting that lower back turn, letting the ribs turn. Hand gets to the floor through tension and rotation in that spine as opposed to anything to do with the legs. Push away from each other, then hand away. Good, and then roll back onto the back and bring that knee in towards the armpit. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring that leg all the way over the body again, letting the ribs move away from each other. The right shoulder goes after the right hand, the right hip goes after the right knee. And then roll over onto that left-hand side, supporting that head. Take hold of the left foot in the left hand, breathing in, breathing out, and push that left foot into the hand, letting that shoulder go back and down, letting that knee come behind the body. So the key is the knee going behind the body and the body staying straight. You're not compromising by letting the lower back bend or compress, pushing that foot into the hand, pushing that knee behind you, lengthening that leg away. And then release that leg, roll back onto the back and pull that knee back in towards the armpit, stretching those legs away from each other. And then push that leg out straight. Take the hands all the way over the head, reaching the fingers from the toes, and then bringing those hands all the way up to the sky, chin into the chest. Grab your rope if you want, mum, and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Glide right forwards to reach towards those ankles, making sure the middle of the feet are parallel. Breathing in, breathing out. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. Okay, take hold of this left leg and slide it up. Cross it over the right leg and slide it up towards the bum. Let the left knee just flop. Pull that left foot up towards the bum. Take hold of the left knee in both hands and pull that knee towards this shoulder. So Sarah, pull the thigh. So we're stretching that glute. Sit, push that left glute, left butt cheek into the ground. Sit yourself up tall and stretch through that bum. Lifting. Now if we can, take hold of that knee in the right hand. Put the left hand on the floor behind and turn so we get more of a stretch through that glute. Good, good. And then turn around to the front, let go of that leg, let it go out straight. And then cross that right foot over, slide the right foot up, and then take hold of the thigh portion of the leg, and you're pulling that leg up towards your left shoulder, pushing this right bum into the ground, so you feel more stretch here through the bum. Pulling that knee up, and then putting the other hand on the floor behind, lifting and turning. So we're stretching through that glute. Breathing in, breathing out, lifting and turning. And then release and let that leg go out straight. Lay yourself down on the floor on your side. So we're going to lie, I'm going to face you. So lying on my right. Support my head with my right elbow. Knees are stacked. Going to do the clam. So getting our body in neutral. So breastbone, tummy button, pubic bone are aligned. So the side of our body is a little bit lifted. Put those legs so that if we draw a straight line down the torso, it cuts through the middle of the calf. Lift that top knee up and down. Lift it up and down. Keep the torso still, lifting up and down. So we're opening that inner thigh and release. Open, clenching with the bum and release. Open and release. Open and release. Open and release. Hold it open. Hold it here. We're going to take this leg up and back. So keep the torso still. Backwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feet together. Lower that knee down. Clench and lift that knee up. Lower that knee down. Clench and lift. Lower it down. Clench and lift. Lower it down. Clench and lift. 3 more. Down and up. 2 more. Down and up. 1 more. Down. Hold it up. Hold it up. And we're going to pulse back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together. Down we go. Okay, give that bum a bit of a rub and we swing over onto the other side. So you can change ends on the mat or you can just roll over onto your tummy. Or roll over onto your other side, whatever you want. Okay, so stacking the knees, making sure that the breastbone, tummy button, pubic bone is aligned. Make sure that if you draw a line through your spine, through the calves, it hits the middle of the calves. So lift that top knee up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up at 1, hold it there, and we're going to go backwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the feet on top of each other, lower down for 8, and lift, 7, lift, 6, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that knee high, go backwards for 8, 7, clench and move it, 6, 5, so this is your friend Sarah, 4, 3, 2, 1, feet together and lower it all the way down. Roll over onto the tummy. Roll over onto the tummy. Okay, keeping those, put your hands down by your bottom rib. Sorry, I changed my mind of what I was going to do. Put your hands by your bottom rib. Clench your bum. We're going to come up onto all fours, but we're going to come via the cobras. It's a good excuse. So clench the bum, lengthen the legs, draw in the tummy, breathing in, roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Breathing out, lift up onto your bottom rib. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift up onto that pubic bone. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift up onto those knees. Breathing in. Push that bum in the air and come back into child pose. All the way back. Stretch through those hips. Walk the hands to the left-hand side of the mat and drop the bum right. And then walk the hands to the right-hand side of the mat and drop the bum to the left. Bring those hands to the middle and push those arms away. Pull those knees apart on the mat, clenching the bum and lift up onto all fours. Good, get yourself into the middle of the mat, or probably to the front edge a bit of the mat. Hands are under the shoulders, turn the inside of the elbow forward and make sure the middle fingers are parallel. Put those knees under the hips, make sure they're parallel on the mat. Pull the knees apart. Turn the tailbone up to the sky, turn the eyes up and let the belly sink down. Breathing in. Turn the tailbone down to the floor, putting the knees apart. Take the eyes down, pushing through that chest, lifting that back up. Turning that tailbone up to the sky, bringing the eyes up, belly down. And then bring yourself onto all fours. Okay, we're going to do the clam on all fours now. Turning the inside of the elbow forward, supporting. Weight on that left leg. Lift that right leg up. Take the right leg just off the floor and lift it out to the side. Glide it back in down to the ground. Lift it out to the side. Glide it all the way back in. Keep that torso still. Lift it out to the side. Glide it all the way back in. Lift it out to the side. Glide it back in. Okay, lift it out and hold it here. So we're going to pulse it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it high and then lower. So this is important for walking, stabilizing the knee. Also riding, keeping the knee off the saddle, keeping a neutral, an open seat so that we're not blocking the horse. Take that knee out to the side. Bring that knee back down. Out to the side for 2. Back down. Up for 3. Back down. Up for 4. Back down. Up for 5. Hold it here. Pulse it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down onto the floor. So, middle fingers are parallel. Turn the inside of the elbow forward. If you're feeling it hard on your wrists, glide your body back a bit so the weight's more over your knees. Going to do the left leg. So take that left leg out to the side. Bring it back in. Out to the side. Chest down a bit, Sarah. Back in. And mum. Back to the head up, chest down, leg out and in for 3, out and in. Bring the backs of your heads up, out for 4, good, out for 5. Hold it there, try not to sink the back in as we lift the leg. Pulse that leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg back down to the other one. Lift it up for 5 and lower. 4 and lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. Hold it up at 1. Pulse it again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down by the side. Slide back into child pose. Push those hands away in front. Breathing in. Relax those wrists. Bend the wrists up and down. Push those hands away, take them over to the left-hand side of the mat, drop the bum to the right. Take them over to the right-hand side of the mat and drop the bum left. Bring them back to the middle and push them hard away. Breathing in on the out breath, slide yourself down onto your tummy on the floor. Slide yourself down onto your tummy on the floor. Okay, rest your hands under your forehead. So we're going to do the leg extension with the hip, but we're going to do it through lifting, lying down. So first of all, we need to make sure that our hip flexors are nice and stretched, or straight, stretched. So that's the cobra exercise, the middle bit where we keep the pubic bone onto the floor, or it's the runner stretch where you're the one on the side that we do where we take the hand up and pull the leg behind. So lying on the floor with your head on your forehead, forehead on the hands, clench the bum, push the pubic bone into the floor. Draw the tummy in and lift it off the ground. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky and down. And you're going to lift that right leg up off the ground and release. Making sure that you're not rotating the pelvis into the floor. Clench the bum, lift that leg up for 2, for 3, and ease. 4, and ease. 5, hold it in the sky. Hold it in the air. So slide your hands down towards your hip bone and make sure that you're not pushing the top of the hip into the floor. Holding the leg in the air, we're going to pulse that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Let's keep the hands here. You can feel the fingers under the top of the pelvis. So clench the bum. Lift that leg up, the left leg up off the floor, breathing in. On the out breath, lift that left leg up higher, pushing the pubic bone down, lifting, keeping the top of the pelvis up. And we're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and lower. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone down, lift the right leg up off the floor for 5 and lower. Clench and lift 4, lower, 3, lower, 2, lower, 1, hold it there. Drive that pubic bone down, clench the bum harder, drive the pubic bone down, lift that foot higher, drive the pubic bone down, lift that foot higher, and release. Okay, left leg, push the pubic bone down, lift that left leg up and lower for 5, up and lower 4, up and lower 3, up, lower 2, up, hold it here, keeping that leg there, pulse it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it, and release. Good. Well done. Feel that bum working. Okay, loosen that bum a bit, push it up to the sky, push it into the floor. So you're arching that lower back and then flattening it. Okay, clench the bum, lengthen the legs, relax those shoulders back and down. Breathing in, and on the out breath, push the pubic bone in the floor and lift both legs up. Both legs are in the sky. Lifting that right leg up for 3, 2, 1, hold it. Lift the left leg for 3, 2, 1, hold it. Lift the right leg, 3, 2, 1, hold it. And lift the left leg, 3, 2, 1. And release both legs down onto the floor. Breathing in on the out breath, pop the hands down next to the lower ribs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Lengthen your legs so they're on the floor, drawing in the core, pushing the pubic bone in, clench the tummy button. Breathing in, and on the out breath, lift onto those bottom ribs, squeeze those shoulders together. Breathing in, on the out breath, lift onto that pubic bone. Breathing in, on the out breath, lift up onto those knees, keep those shoulders back and down. Breathing in, on the out breath, bum into the air and back into child pose. All the way back, pushing those hands forwards, stretching through those armpits. Reaching forward, walk those hands to the right hand side of the mat and stretch through the left. And then walk those hands to the left-hand side of the mat and stretch through the right. Bring those hands back to the center. Pulling those knees apart on the mat, feel that bum clench and release. Pull the knees apart on the mat, feel that clam muscle engaging and release. Pull the knees apart on the mat. Feel the bum engaging and lift yourself up onto all fours. All the way up onto all fours. Walk those feet, those knees forwards between your hands. Settle yourself on your bottom. Holding behind your legs, so we're going to do the cat and dog sitting. Pull that chest forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then release that back, so we do the cat and dog, so we're arching it, letting ourselves fall onto our tailbone, breathing in. On the out breath, pull forward onto the front bottom, push the top of the head backwards, squeeze those shoulders together, and then release and round yourself, breathing in, breathing out. Take those hands behind the thighs, pull yourself up, lifting, breathing in, breathing out, and then release. Up your hands on your thighs, slide your hands down your legs, breathing in, breathing out. Soften those knees, pull forwards onto that front bottom, breathing in, breathing out. Lift up so you're sitting nice and tall. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them back. Put your fists on the floor behind your bum. Breathing in, push that chest forward, squeeze those shoulders together. Breathing out and release. Up the palms of your hands on the floor. Pull those elbows together. Push those arms straight. Push that chest up and forward. Breathing in. Pull those toes towards your nose. Straighten your legs, Sandra. Breathing in. On the out breath, clench the bum and lift that off the ground and just see how we are with those arms. Good. Pushing the hips up high. Clench with the bum. Lift those hips higher. Clench with the bum. Lift those hips higher. Then lower all the way down to the ground. Now push off your fingers so you stretch through the palms of your hand. Push off those fingers, lift that chest up, drag those fingers on the floor, bring them up all the way over your head. Put the palms together, reach up to the sky, pull your toes towards your nose, pull your body up tall. Tighten those thighs, push the knees into the ground, breathing in. Breathing out, take those arms all the way slowly out wide. Bring those hands on your legs and roll your shoulders. Excellent. So that was a bit more on the glutes, getting the glutes to fire up, getting the hips to open, and getting the core to engage in those positions.